Call of Duty has always been about intense multiplayer battles, outsmarting enemies, clutching victories, and flexing your skills. But what if I told you that in Black Ops 6, some of those enemies, or even teammates, might not even be human? That's right, Activision could be slipping advanced AI bots into your lobbies so seamlessly you'd never know the difference. Sounds like a science fiction plot, right? But it's happening right now. With the release of Black Ops 6, Call of Duty has pushed boundaries in graphics, gameplay and mechanics, but there's a hidden shift happening that's raising eyebrows across the gaming community. Advanced AI bots are filling player slots, mimicking human behavior to an uncanny degree, and they're designed to adapt, strategize and even communicate like real players. And the big question is this enhancing the Call of Duty experience or is it a step too far? Think about it, how would you feel knowing that killstreak you're so proud of came from farming bots instead of outplaying real people? And does this cross the line between competitive integrity and cheap matchmaking tricks? In this video, we're diving straight into the heart of Black Ops 6 and we'll unpack how AI-driven bots are changing the way we play, how it connects to Activision's long-term vision, and whether this evolution is making the franchise better or ruining what made it great in the first place. So buckle up, this is going to be very controversial. But before we go any further, let's set the record straight. This isn't some conspiracy theory, and it's certainly not a baseless accusation. What I'm about to lay out is rooted in publicly available information, specifically patents filed by Activision, which can be found online for anyone willing to dig a little deeper. And these patents cost a lot of money to file, and with the kind of resources Activision has, it's highly unlikely they're just collecting dust somewhere. And let's be real, Activision is in the business of making money, and implementing these innovations would give them a massive edge in shaping the future of multiplayer gaming. And I know, it sounds wild, right? The idea that AI, NPCs and player behavior are being influenced by complex algorithms in ways we might not even recognize at first. But when you step back and look at the big picture, it starts to make sense. The community has been feeling these changes for years now, and if you pay attention, you'll start noticing certain patterns in how the game plays out, from matchmaking to NPC behaviors. And these patterns align directly with the features outlined in those patents. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a lot to digest, I know that, and it's hard to believe at first, but the key here is to stay open-minded and consider the possibility. These changes could be influencing the game so subtly you might not even realize it's happening, but once you start to connect the dots, you'll see how deep this goes. So I urge you to keep an open mind as we dive into this. What I'm about to say might just change the way you think about Black Ops 6 and the future of gaming itself. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you found your way to the channel. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos like this. And if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor guys, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. It really helps the video reach more people, and honestly, I think more people should be talking about this. I'd love to hear your take on it, so let's get the conversation going. And the patent we're covering today is called System and Method for Transparently Styling Non-Player Characters in a Multiplayer Video Game. And let us start with the most obvious question. Why is Activision even doing this? Why flood lobbies with AI bots when we have millions of Call of Duty players worldwide? The answer lies in player retention and seamless matchmaking. In the age of instant gratification, no one wants to wait for a full lobby, and that's where the AI bots of Black Ops 6 step in. These aren't your old school predictable NPCs from older games. These bots are built using cutting-edge AI systems to replicate human-like behavior to an almost creepy level. They can mimic complex player actions like coordinating strategies, improvising under pressure, and even adapting to individual playstyle mid-match. And according to the patent filed by Activision, these bots can fill in player gaps in real time. They're designed to avoid giving off those obvious bot vibes, you know, like weird gamer tags, jerky movements, or overly simplistic strategies. Instead, they can trash talk, team up, and even play the objective like seasoned veterans. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the catch, it's also incredibly deceptive. Activision claims that this is about ensuring a smooth gameplay experience. No waiting in lobbies, no 4v5 matchups, but let's not ignore the bigger picture. This system blurs the line between real players and AI so much that you, the gamer, might not even notice. And if you're playing to test your skills against real humans, well, are you really getting what you signed up for? Alright, but now let's dive straight into the core of what makes Black Ops 6 a real game changer. Behind all the flashy graphics, and advertisement and flashy bundles in the store, there's an AI-driven system that's shifting the very foundation of multiplayer shooters. And here's a breakdown of the key features that are rewriting the rules of engagement. Let's begin with human-like NPC behavior. And first off, these aren't your average bots. Thanks to a dynamic AI system, NPCs in Black Ops 6 are designed to emulate human players, and they're not just following a set script. They react, adapt, and even build strategies on the fly. Want your NPC to support the team? Well, they've got your back, Need someone to act aggressively? They'll do that too. It's not perfect yet, but the direction is clear. These NPCs are learning from every game, pushing the limits of what we've known about bots. Next up, we have AI-driven NPC evolution. But here's where it gets interesting. The AI engine isn't static. It learns and evolves. As these NPCs play more matches, their gameplay improves. And they're not stuck in a single skill tier. They grow from rookie to expert by studying human playstyles, refining their strategies, and improving their decision-making over time. Think of it like training an AI to be the perfect teammate, only it gets smarter with every game you play. The next feature is XP adjustments. We know rewards are a big part of the grind in Call of Duty, and that's why Activision's approach to NPCs doesn't let them run wild without any consequences. When NPCs are in the game, the XP and reward system adjusts. That's right, matches with NPCs can actually offer less XP or no rewards at all. And the aim here is to ensure that human players still have an edge in progression, and sure, you might be playing with or against NPCs, but you won't be racking up insane XP like it's a cakewalk. And just a couple hours ago, NerosCinema conducted an experiment where he joined matches, got a kill or elimination, and earned the appropriate medals. He then left the game immediately after the kill to test how much XP was rewarded, and the results were inconsistent. Sometimes he received more XP, other times he's got none. And this aligns with a key feature mentioned in the patent, suggesting that the system's intent is to give human players an edge in progression. And although you might be playing with or against NPCs, you won't be earning XP at the same rate as if you're playing entirely with human opponents. And this recent video on the XP issue couldn't have come at a better time, as it shines a light on an ongoing problem that's been around for weeks, or maybe months, years, I don't know. The next point would be player feedback integration. Now, this is where things get really clever. The system isn't just monitoring the gameplay, it is monitoring you. That's right, human players. The AI tracks player satisfaction through metrics like session duration, kill-death ratios, and even more subtle things like reaction times and focus levels. And if you're getting bored or frustrated with an NPC's behavior, the system takes that feedback and adjusts the NPC's tactics in real time. It's not about making the game harder, it's about making it fun for you. Next up, we have gap management with NPCs. Let's talk about the most practical aspect, filling those player slots. When there's a gap in a session and not enough human players to start a game, these NPCs seamlessly slide in to fill the void. And they're not just placeholders, they're part of the matchmaking system. And when NPCs are in play, they're designed to be indistinguishable from real players, meaning no one will even know they're bots unless it's pointed out. And the thing is, guys, these features are not just a gimmick, they're shaping how we'll experience multiplayer gaming moving forward. And if you ask me, they don't make the game more immersive. Because, as I mentioned before, they're just blurring the line too much between human and machine. Recent weeks, a growing number of creators have been highlighting this unsettling trend in Call of Duty, with NPCs or bots being in matches, and when I played, I couldn't shake the feeling that my team was full of bots. I was the only one actively playing the objective, while my teammates just seemed to go through the motions. They are weird, they aren't real players. These guys are bots, These bots move in strange ways, random, illogical, and mechanical. But the issue here is they flick and track like gods, They'll take you out with insane precision, but then their behavior shifts back to looking like a typical bot. You know, it's that inconsistency that's making us question whether we're actually playing against real opponents or if Activision is filling the lobbies with these AI-controlled figures. And it doesn't stop there. I've seen players in the comments of videos, including Blame Truth videos or even under mine, say they logged into the game only to get kicked from the session, feeling like someone was playing on their account. And it's unsettling, to say the least. And it leads us to an even darker possibility that Activision might be borrowing player accounts to fill lobbies with bots. Let that sink in for a moment, guys. The thought that the company behind the game might be using our accounts to populate lobbies with AI-controlled players just to keep the action going is not only concerning, but downright sickening. Like, these features aren't just a gimmick, they're shaping how we experience multiplayer gaming moving forward. But the question remains, are these adjustments making the game more immersive, or are they crossing a line by blurring the distinction between human players and bots? Now that we've covered the major points, let's dive into some of the other features and implications of the patent that haven't been addressed yet. And this part goes beyond NPC behavior and player experience adjustments, expanding into how these technologies could radically shift how we play games like Black Ops 6. And we will start with matchmaking and dynamic player integration. One of the most significant features in the patent revolves around matchmaking. It's not just about finding a match, it's about creating a seamless experience, regardless of whether you're playing with other humans or AI-controlled NPCs. The system dynamically fills player slots with NPCs when there aren't enough human players, ensuring that the game doesn't slow down or break immersion. This process isn't as simple as just ticking in a few bots. No, these NPCs are designed to act, react, and play just like a human would. So if you're playing Black Ops 6 and you're down a few players, you might not even notice that some of your teammates are NPCs. They'll shoot like you, flank like you, and even react to situations with a level of intelligence that might make you question if you're really playing against bots at all. Next up, we have behavioral calibration based on player satisfaction. The AI doesn't just throw NPCs randomly, it's continuously learning from player feedback, and the system monitors quality factors like session duration, player retention, kill death ratios, even heart rate or facial expressions to gauge player satisfaction. And that means NPCs are constantly evolving based on how well you're enjoying the game. And if you're frustrated by a bot constantly getting killed, the system might tweak its behavior to make it more useful to you. If you're killing bots with an ease and getting bored, the AI might make them more challenging. And this level of personalization could make the difference between a good match and a great match, with NPCs constantly adapting to maintain an enjoyable experience. And it's almost like your entire gameplay session is being tailored to you by an invisible hand, optimizing every match for maximum fun. And it doesn't stop there. You know, we have balancing player skill and experience, and one of the key insights from this patent is how the game adapts to player skill levels and how NPCs fit into that balance. And we've all been there, getting into a match and feeling like you're either on a team of pros or stuck with a bunch of rookies. It's frustrating and it can ruin the flow of the game. But with these patented systems, the AI tracks player performance over time and adjusts NPC behavior to fill gaps in player skill. Instead of having your game ruined by mismatched teams, the NPCs step in and help balance the gameplay. They may not be perfect, but they're strategically placed to improve the overall experience. And it's not just about winning or losing, it's about making sure you always feel like you're playing a fair match no matter what. It is like the AI is a mirror to the human playstyles, you know, which is also the scariest part, because these NPCs are crafted to reflect human tendencies. They aren't just copying algorithms, they're built to mimic the full spectrum of human playstyles. From aggressive to cooperative, tactical to casual, the AI adjusts to make sure it mirrors the way real players act. And in Black Ops 6, you could be playing against real players, but you could also be playing against NPCs that take risks just like an unpredictable human player, or NPCs that follow the strategy of a professional player, setting up defensive positions, calling out enemy movements, and working together to secure objectives. So it's no longer about following a pre-programmed pattern. These NPCs act in ways that make them feel alive. They don't just play the game, they play with you. So how do you even know how many bots are in your match? Activision's AI integration is so seamless that distinguishing bots from humans is nearly impossible. You could be sweating bullets thinking you're up against a squad of pros, only to find out half the team was algorithmically generated cannon fodder. And this creates a tricky situation. On one hand, Activision is incentivizing real player interaction by valuing those encounters more. On the other hand, you might unknowingly spend hours in bot-heavy lobbies, racking up wins that barely move your XP bar. And it's a psychological game, one that could subtly push players toward buying those infamous XP boosters. Just saying. So, what's the real play here? Is it about fairness, or is it another clever monetization strategy in disguise? That's the question worth asking every time you see those post-match stats and wonder why your efforts feel a little undervalued, so to say. In summary, these additional features point to a future where Call of Duty isn't just a game. It's a living, breathing ecosystem where human players and NPCs coexist and interact in ways that blur the line between the two. The AI adapts, learns, and evolves, ensuring that every match feels fresh, fair, and engaging, whether you're in a 100% human match or facing off against a mixed team of players and NPCs. The game is engineered to keep things exciting, balanced, and rewarding. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Black Ops 6 and the groundbreaking patent features that could change the way we play forever. Now, I'm not claiming this is all set in stone, but when you take a step back and look at the patterns, the ideas being explored here make a lot of sense. If the future of gaming is anything like what we've discussed, we could be in for a wild ride. And this is where you come in again, guys. I want to hear what you think. Do you believe this technology will eventually be implemented in Call of Duty? Maybe it is already implemented, or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's spark that debate, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's hottest topics. Remember, always stay open-minded, think critically, and question what you're playing, because sometimes the things that influence your game aren't always as visible as they seem. Catch you in the next one, guys.